So I have to be completely honest, I haven't really done much on the van this week. I basically got back from my dad's last Sunday at around 11 o'clock at night because I didn't finish working on the van until about 7. And I had a really busy week at work, so I just decided, okay, let's not do anything, because one, I'm tired and then I'm going to do things wrong, and two, I'm not in any rush, so I'd rather just leave it, focus on work for the week, which was a really busy week. Now that's over, back to normal working hours, which means I can work on the van more. So I thought today, rather than showing you what I've done this week, I could actually show you my layout for my van. So I have a few things on the floor which kind of show you a little bit. They're rough estimates of measurements of where I'm going to have things. So I'm also going to set you up and I will walk you through it. But you can see these masking tape lines. So this line here, this furthest line, it's an approximate. It's probably going to come to this line here in actual fact, just to make sure I'm over these wheel arches. But the aim of this section here, right at the back with the doors, is going to be my bed. So basically I'm probably going to have my bed like quite high up, and underneath my bed, if we say come from the back, I'm then going to have like pull-out sections. So I'm going to have some of my fresh water over my wheel arches. Then I'm going to have a long space for a pull-out bike rack, and my bike's going to be nicely all like professionally put on there so that it's not damaged. It's a really precious bike to me, so you know, we do a lot of triathlons. I want that to be really safe and secure, but I don't want it to be on the outside of the van, so I decided I'm going to have a pull-out tray for that. Then next to it I'm going to probably end up with a gap, which is fine because I'm going to have things like chairs to sit outside with, barbecue, that kind of thing can go in that gap. Any extra things like my awning can go in that gap, and I will have gaps then either side. One gap here and one gap here. At the moment I'm going to be putting electrics and fuse boxes etc. on one side, and then potentially like water heater, water pump and air heater in the other. They're going to be split over these two sides, so these will not be spaced, they're going to have things there. And my bed's probably going to come up to about, probably around about here. That's an approximate because I haven't measured it properly yet. I just wanted to know the kind of layout on the floor so that I could kind of work things out. Now as you can see, some of my lines are not straight, so it is very much just to kind of to be able to see and decide on my total layout, which has changed quite a few times. So right, so you can see this bit on the floor, so this is going to be my shower here, and because this is fully up, I'm going to have cupboards all the way along above my bed. Sorry, I know you can't see my face right now. Let's just tilt you up a bit. Hey! So yeah, I just kind of knew I wanted my shower here so that I could have cupboards going on. And obviously because my bed is going to be lengthways, it means I can have cupboards either side at the top. I did try and lay widthways. I'm 5'7", and it meant that my feet were touching the metal here. But up here I had like a little bit of room, so by the time like the cladding's gone on, I knew that I would just squeeze in. Now I am single at the moment, but who knows if I'm going to end up meeting somebody. They're probably going to be taller than me because I don't like to be dating shorter guys, so I kind of had that in mind as well, like, well, I'll keep this van for a long time even if I don't end up living in it for a really long time. So I want it to be comfortable. So my bed is going to be 6 foot and it's going to be lengthways, which means there will be, it's going to be around about the same width as a king size bed, which means there is going to be like space either side. So either side I'm going to have like a wooden bit, and up top I'm going to have USB points on both sides, and that can be where I can put like my drink, from like chilling in bed or whatever. Down the bottom, like over the wheel arches, because there's going to be space above my water tanks, that's going to be like cupboards that like kind of lift up and you can put stuff in. One side will be dirty washing and the other side will be like underwear, socks, that kind of thing. So there'll be enough space. Now, the other thing I'm going to have is at the end of the bed, so this is kind of the gap between my shower here and my kitchen, I'm going to have a pull-out step to get up onto the bed, and also that step is going to be a storage box so you can put stuff in it, but at the same time it could move down here and be like a footstool, all of that kind of thing. So I will be able to take that out and get to my dirty washing through there, and actually I will be able to get to the garage that way, so I can see things underneath or grab something from the back that I've put in there, so if it's pouring rain I don't want to go all the way outside. So it's quite a good thing to have that here. From about here, this panel, all the way down to the driver's seat, which is where you are, this is going to be a bench. So I've got my kind of makeshift bench here. It's going to be able to sit here, and it's going to be, you know, fairly long, so you could probably fit like 2, maybe 3 people along it, which is exciting. Let's put you back up here because then it's easier to show you everything. So my bench is going to be here. What I have seen a few people do, and a few kind of designs, is the bench is going to have a section that I can pull out, so I use the backrest from the bench, put it down, and then this will be you know, nice little bed. Let's see. Ta-da! I kind of fit here. So, it'll just be an extra bed. I'm not expecting to have people to stay, but one, it's nice, you can have, pull that pat out and relax, chill out on it. But also then it's kind of, I can put it in and have a nice small bench. So, I'm going to have a table attachment to it that's kind of 360 swiveling, etc. Everyone's seen it, a Laguna table I think it's called. But underneath is going to be drawers, so that's going to be storage, and one section underneath will be Tank's little bed, and with his bowls, etc, etc. He doesn't need that much space because he's literally like this big, which is fantastic. So that's this end. Now I'm not going to have cupboards above here. I may change my mind once I've started building, but I'd quite like this space to be a little bit more open because I've decided to have like a shower, which is kind of obviously full like to the ceiling, so that takes up, you know, quite a lot of space, and that means this window is going to be super open, it's going to be really comfy, people can then stand up and they won't hit their heads. So that's this side of the van. Now my driver's seat is not going to swivel. I decided that quite quickly after thinking, oh, it's going to swivel, blah, 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 blah. But really, if my bench is going to come right up to where the driver's seat is, there's nowhere for a person to put their legs anyway, so it makes no sense. Therefore, one, it saves me money because I don't have to get a swivel base for that, which, okay, isn't that much, but still, at the end of the day for me, every little counts. So, that's not going to swivel. However, my lovely double seat there is going to swivel. Now, I was going to change this seat. I wanted 2 single seats. Kind of wanted a really nice, comfortable seat with armrests. That may end up happening eventually, but it's not a big deal. I find it quite comfortable to drive anyway, this van. She's really, really comfortable to drive, actually. She was absolutely fine going all the way up to my parents 2 weekends in a row. So yeah, this double chair will swivel all the way around, and I'm actually going to have my batteries and maybe my inverter in there. I'm not quite sure yet, but my batteries are definitely going to go in there because there's a massive space that I want to keep and use, and it's perfect because then my batteries don't have to go all the way in the back and there's more space in the back for something. So this chair will swivel, which will be really, really exciting, which is why I'm not going to have a bulkhead. But as you can see, I will have a cupboard overhead. And I actually decided to cut my headliner because I really wanted to have a nice big cupboard up there. I'm going to insulate it and then I'm going to build it out of timber, etc., plywood. And then the bottom will hopefully be the same colour as this, or as close a match as possible. As you can see, I've kind of started doing stuff today, taking this off to paint black, so it looks like that. So yeah, that's exciting that this is going to swivel, and then we come to the kitchen. This, I was pretty sure about my kitchen. So, as I said before, I'm going to have overhead cupboards up here. My overhead cupboards are going to come bang on to here, to where the door is. Which means some of my kitchen will have cupboards over the top, and then obviously there's a little section that won't. So what I've decided to have, I'll show you the line on the floor. My kitchen is going to go all the way from the bed, end of the bed, to like bang on halfway along this door. And it will come all the way out to meet the door. I decided to do it that way because I kind of wanted, I'll show you. I'm going to put some pictures with kind of the things I've been seeing and ideas I've had from other people's builds. Obviously I've watched a lot of videos, etc. Sorry, I'm just kind of moving you. So what I've decided to have is, this is right smack bang in front of my window. So I'm having my kitchen sink right here. The decision to have that was because probably more than likely if I'm going to be in a nice sunny place, which is right now England is sunny, but not England, my door's going to be open, which means I can stand here, wash dishes, and I'm not making a mess over like a backsplash or whatever, which means I technically won't need to get a backsplash. I might do one, but it's not like necessary because the water's not going to affect it or whatever. And that also means my tap, I can swizzle around and use it outside. The other extra thing I'm going to have at the end of this unit is a table that comes out like from the unit and makes it an even longer kitchen counter, but also it means that these chairs here can swivel and they can use that table as their, like, they can eat off of, do a little bit of work on a laptop. So that's something I really, really wanted. What I'm probably going to do the other side is have a storage for shoes, so that there's somewhere to put like either dirty shoes, etc. You know, kind of that kind of thing. That's why also I wanted the tap so I could clean off shoes, etc. Now further up my kitchen, so underneath the kitchen sink is going to be drawers. Everywhere I'm going to have drawers because drawers is just way better than cupboards. Like, I much prefer drawers in a house than cupboards anyway. So I'm going to have my sink, a little bit of space, then I'm going to have my hob, which means I probably will have a little bit of a backsplash, but I'm not really sure what that's going to look like yet. Just a 2-burner hob. Again, underneath I'm going to have drawers, and then more kitchen counter, and here I'm going to have my fridge. That is a debate that is definitely ongoing in the house with my mum and dad. I was just going to go for a 50-litre fridge because it's just me, and if it is going to be another person, it's just going to be one other person. They kind of want me to go for, I think it's an 85-litre fridge. I personally don't think I need that much. That means a 50-litre, I've got loads more space. Maximum I'd go for probably would be a 65. But they found a 85 that's really like economical and way better electricity-wise. So yeah, that's kind of under discussion. But I'm going to have my light switches and all my kind of units on the end of this upper cabinet. And yeah, I think that's kind of about it for my layout. I've not got an oven and I've not got a microwave. My toilet will be inside my shower. I have decided on a toilet, and I'm going to go for a Nature's Head toilet because they look pretty awesome and I've actually heard that they're amazing. So let me know if you've got one. I'd like to hear your reviews. I'm also going to go for a retractable shower screen that is self-cleaning. And yeah, it's going to kind of be cladded and in white with like grey accessories, and I really, this is something that I've gone for different. Everybody has this amazing wood cladding on the ceiling. Now, I have to admit, it looks unbelievable. But I've decided that I'm going to have a lovely, right here, big map of the world. Yes, I know a light will be in the middle of it, but I think I can make it work. So I'm probably going to have a lovely big grey map of the world on the ceiling, which will be really, really cool to see where I am in the world and where I want to go and show people, you know. So yeah, I have a few ceiling lights. 1, 2, 3. The reason I only have 3, and obviously I have one in the shower because that's going to be closed off. The reason I only have 3 is because underneath my countertops, underneath my cupboard, these up here cupboards, I'm going to have LED strip lights on both sides. So in my house right now, I have one light on usually in the living room, which is usually my side lamp, not the ceiling light. I'm just not somebody that likes really bright light, so I'd quite like to be able to have like a mood, kind of that kind of thing. Be able to, you know, set the mood, that kind of thing. So that's why I've only got 3 ceiling lights. I have the option to add another one here and here, but I just personally didn't want to go overboard. So that's kind of, I think that's it. I'm going to have a socket over here, which is going to be right by the bench, which will be a 240 volt and a USB 12 volt socket. I'm also going to have another 240 volt up here and a switch and USB. So yeah, I think that's the interior of my van. Now I have a lot to do this week because some exciting news. Next weekend I'm actually going to go away for my first proper camping trip in Skyla. So my aim is to get the ceiling in, the wall to be insulated, double bubble in, and I do have enough time that I potentially could do the cladding. That would be a nice thing, but I think I kind of want to get the shelf done first, because at the moment when I'm driving it makes a lot more noise, and for some reason, I think it's because it's open now, you can't really hear me when I'm talking on the phone using the Bluetooth. So the speaker kind of there's just too much noise for it. So I'd like to get that done as well. And then basically what I'm going to do is bring in my mattress. I've got a little fridge that I borrowed off my mum and dad. I got a battery to connect that to. And me and Tank are going camping with my swimming friends, which I'm really, really excited about. Everyone's super excited, and every time I go swimming, like this morning, everyone was asking about the van and how's it going, and you know, sometimes I need a little bit of motivation because it's hard doing it by yourself all the time. But yeah, that's kind of my van. Don't think there's anything else to add really. Hopefully you like my ideas. I'm not completely set on them. Some things I really am completely set on. I don't really want to change, but I have changed it a lot really. I originally was going to go for a shower and a wardrobe-y kind of cupboard and then a smaller bench seat. And my friend kind of just said to me like, why do you want that? What do you hang up? What clothes do you hang up? And he's completely right. I wear the same clothes most weeks and they're all folded in my drawers, and I spend a lot of the time in a bikini, which definitely doesn't need hanging up. But I can hang up wet stuff and stuff in my shower, which is really good. This is the other reason why I wanted to have a shower. So yeah, that's kind of it really. So yeah, hopefully next week's video I'll have a little bit more to show you on what I've done on the van. I knew there was going to be a few weeks like this where not much got done. I am doing little things like I'm spraying a few things black to go back into the cab and that kind of thing, but mostly it hasn't really changed. So I'm definitely missing my dad and his unit and his kind of enthusiasm to keep going and stuff. Hopefully he's missing me too. And yeah, hopefully next week I have more to show you on Skyla. She is definitely looking pretty awesome, I think. What do you reckon? Fingers crossed that she looks good when she's finished. Right, for now, I'll let you go and I'll see you later. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe.